Do you want me to spike the lens at any point? Want me to say hi or something, or what?
Look into the camp, like address them, right?
When I'm answering questions?
Whenever you want.
Oh, whenever I want.
It's up to you.
Oh, okay.
You can either look at me.
You want me to spike the lens whenever I want? Like this? They don't want you looking down the camera when you're on set.
You're allowed to do it on my channel.
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for all the support over the years. I love you!
One thing about you is that you're really, really positive with fan communication.
Oh, yeah.
I've noticed that.
Oh, I love that. Especially on Twitter. Find me there. I'm very, very engaged. Instagram, too. I talk to people there. So,
give them your ats.
At G_Panton for Twitter, and then Giles Panton for Instagram. No punctuation, anything else. Yeah.
I'll put it below. I'm going to ask the most obvious question that there's already an answer to, because this one came up a lot, which is, do you own any Ninjago sets?
Oh. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe a couple. Kalmaar! There he is!
I got to ask you, favorite ninja? and I won't be offended.
Kai.
Kai?
Just because I've known Vincent for so long.
Oh, so you're making it personal.
It's a personal choice. No, I've known him since high school. We went to Disneyland together. We went down as the choir and the band. I was a drummer, he was a singer, and we had a whole like Disneyland tour. So I have a collegial, a friendship favorite.
All right, no, I'll accept that. Normal people would be like, it's because he does fire, but you're like, he's one of my buddies.
And Vincent Tong is very fire as well. So
fire. Do you have a favorite villain of all the characters you've voiced?
I have Kalmaar. I love Kalmaar.
Okay, why?
Just such a delightful brat. There is something so fun about being that like spoiled, petulant, evil little squid face.
Petulant's a little bit too big of a word to use on my channel.
Oh, petulant? Sorry. Bratty. Just a very brat face.
Did you ever do some wild or unusual things as a kid? Like cut a pen in half and play with the ink for fun?
I remember at a friend's house, I like took the vacuum out and vacuumed the windows, and they're like, "What are you doing?" Like,
friend's house?
Yeah.
Wow, play date with you would have been real fun. wait, Mom, you don't need to do that. Wow, John's coming over. Being in Nexo Nights as a cast member, similar or quite different than Ninjago?
Very different.
Okay, why?
Well, firstly, Nexo Nights, I was there from the beginning, so I was one of the main guys. We formed the core of the team,
right?
And there was just a relationship there. There was like a bond between all of us. Ninjago was like this legendary show that I was like, I tried to get into for 10 seasons or something,
right?
And then I made it in, and then and I got to be the baddie and just have a bunch of fun. And it was in a lot of ways because Kalmaar is so all about himself. Yeah. In those sessions, I was just super like I talked and played around with everybody, but when I was doing the character, Kalmaar is so self-focused that I wasn't really engaging with other people other than to put them down or like attack them.
Right.
So it was like when I was there, it was like the Kalmaar show. It was all me all the time.
Yeah.
And so it was a very different experience because in one of them I was the core of it, I was the center, and then the other one I was like this outsider who came in to destroy everything.
Right.
Plus halfway through the season,
yeah,
we stopped being in the room.
We're like, what, 5 episodes in?
Yeah, we're like, yeah.
COVID shuts everything down, and then we all record on our own.
Yeah.
And still,
we're still by ourselves.
When we do stuff, it's still by ourselves. So,
yeah.
That must have been pretty heartbreaking. Probably more for you because
yeah,
you're like in the group and then you're pulled out, right?
I missed everyone. I did. I really missed everybody.
Do you have any of your personality in Kalmaar?
Yeah, absolutely. Every character brings certain aspects of myself. I guess the part that can like get a little uptight about how things need to be sometimes. I'm like, oh no, it's got to be this way. Then I just make that all like that's everything when it comes to Kalmaar. Everything has to be his way.
Nexo Nights.
Yes.
You played the part of Clay in that.
Clay Morrington.
A really popular show among
Clay Morrington.
Fans love that show, by the way.
Yeah, it was great. We had 4 seasons. It was amazing. Everyone was disappointed it ended. Even Tommy was so disappointed it stopped. Yeah.
And they're always asking, when I see fan interaction, always wanting more Nexo Nights.
I know.
So if you did a 5th season of Nexo Nights,
yes,
I'm assuming you would be back for it.
I'd be down in a heartbeat. Okay, absolutely.
What direction would you like that season to go?
I want to follow where we left off. I mean, who my mother was, Stoneheart, all these things, like where it was going. They had a good 4 seasons worth of ideas, and I thought it was fascinating where it ended up, where Clay was starting to become this kind of anti-hero. When he got turned to stone, and when he broke out of that, he still had those powers, and it was shifting his personality a little bit. Some more colder aspects were coming out. We were finding out that maybe in his history he was like in his bloodline, that maybe it's not all heroes.
So you want closure to storylines?
I'd like 10 more seasons. I don't want closure.
I want more money.
Closure. No, I it was a fact that I love.
I'd want the more money. Does it feel awkward or sometimes embarrassing when you have to make grunt noises for fighting?
No, I love it. The only time it was a bit awkward was my very first cartoon. It was Voltron Force. Okay. And it was my very first cartoon.
Good, you just answered another question.
Okay, well I booked the lead out of the gates for that.
Whoa, dude, nice.
Yeah, and it was, and there was a lot of fighting because it was a fighting cartoon. Yeah. So Vincent Tong was in that as well as like a bunch of other people from the industry, and yeah, like my first fight scene, they're firstly, I didn't stay on mic. I was like, wah! I was like going all over the place, and they're like, you gotta stay in place. I'm like, oh, okay. And some of my sounds sounded very like 1960s kung fu movie sounds.
Nice. If you can meet anybody in person that you voiced, who would it be? So like, you would like meet them as their character.
Oh, that's really funny.
Yeah.
At first I wanted to say Kalmar, but then he'd want to kill me, and then that'd be really awkward.
Right.
That'd be very difficult.
Yes.
Unless he was Lego figure sized, and then it wouldn't be a problem.
No, that's good. they didn't
specify.
say, so I don't know, man.
I mean, I'd be interested in meeting Kalmar, but on the same note, he would want to destroy me.
Let's make it life size.
Because I'm a filthy surface dweller, so no, not Kalmar then, because I don't have special powers, and he's got lightning bolts.
Right, you're done.
So forget that. Maybe Guy Marvel, actually.
Guy Marvel.
Guy Marvel is a character I voiced for Far Cry 5. He was this wild character who basically lived on energy drinks.
Did you play the game?
Yeah, of course I did.
Isn't it awesome when you're playing and then you hear yourself back?
Yes, I loved it.
How did you know that voice acting was for you?
Half the voices I've done have been voices that I did in college or like in high school, just like silly things that I played around with, because I got a lot of energy, and sometimes it comes out as voices.
Did you pursue voice acting, or did your agent, film agent, whatever, say, hey?
No, it was a friend. I had a guy named Sage Brocklebank. I'd go out to like these acting parties, and he's like, it's the man with the voice, and I'm like, what? And like, I just had a couple people who kept pushing me to go check it out. So I took a weekend workshop with Kathy Westlove, who's amazing.
Kathy, hello Kathy, if you ever watch this.
Love her. Actually, I took a 1-hour private session with her to begin with, and in it, she's like, I think you could really do this, and she gave me some tips as to what directions I could go in. I took her weekend workshop. I worked a little bit with a friend of mine named Mark Hildreth. He's a great guy also.
Yeah, Mark, he's worked on Ninjago.
Yeah, he's
Prime Empire season. He was on. Yeah.
Fantastic guy, and it bit me. I loved it, but I was very optimistic and young and plucky and like not
plucky
duck. You never heard that term?
No. Yeah. You and I share something kind of unique in common, that we both won actor awards.
Yeah, we both won the best actor. Yeah.
And you got yours for Carnage.
Yes, which was an intense role.
Which is really a cool. And
yeah.
Can you explain a little bit about that role?
I was voicing Norman Osborn, who was the Green Goblin, who had been beaten so badly by Spider-Man and so violently beaten that he had kind of a head injury and had I guess a brain injury too, because he thought he was Cletus Cassidy. Cletus Cassidy is a violent serial killer.
Right.
Very, very violent. So I'm Norman Osborn, who thinks he's Cletus Cassidy. So I've got this like southern accent, I'm doing all this stuff, and then I'm in this high security lockup prison / psych ward. Carnage breaks in and infects me with a symbiote. So I ended up having to voice these two different characters. I voiced Norman Osborn, who thinks he's Cletus Cassidy, as well as the symbiote that embodied him. So I won it for a dual role of voicing both those characters, and it was intense.
That's interesting. I think that we should have a secret handshake or something.
Yeah.
Because we both got to win. If Kalmar was a sensei, what would his words of wisdom be to his ninja squid pupils?
Obey, destroy! Obey, destroy!
Proudest character you've ever voiced?
I think because of just the massive upswelling of the fan reaction in Kalmar.
Right. Yeah, you got a big fan reaction.
Well, the fan art, everything else, it was like really, really touching. Just the response. I think I was so proud of having that impact.
Were you surprised by Kalmar's villainy? Villainry.
No.
How do you say that?
Villainy. I don't know. Villainy. No, because it was in the audition. Like when I read the audition, I'm like, oh, I know this guy. I know he's trouble. One of the first scenes was him torturing Nia.
Why we pause?
I don't know. I sent in that one voice. I'm like, this is gonna be right.
Did you just do one voice, or did you do multiple reads for that character?
I know that I led with the voice that got selected.
Okay.
I don't know if I did a second voice or not, because just the way he was written felt so right for like British spoiled.
Oh, so it didn't say British on the.
No, I made that choice.
Really?
And then the guy that they cast for my dad, they wanted to make sure that he had a slightly British accent also to match.
That's so cool.
To match what I was doing. No, it did not. That was.
Oh, dude.
That was my choice for Kalmar, because I'm like, this is right for him.
That's a win. Because making a bold choice like that, you're going against the grain. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so I went with that and I also went with the choice of making him more spoiled and bratty than like directly evil, and then within that came out how dangerous he actually is, because when someone's that level of, I'm gonna use a big word, like naively not naively, but very narcissistic, but also like just very young and simple in their thinking, they're very dangerous.
If someone wants you to say, destroy him.
Simple people, destroy him!
Favorite cartoon as a kid?
G.I. Joe, Teddy Ruxpin. I'm dating myself here.
It's impossible to date yourself, Giles. You're already married. Do you think Kalmar is alive despite Wojira eating you alive?
Always. Kalmar is eternal. Forever.
What's it harder to do, a hero or a villain?
Depends on the writing.
Really?
Yeah.
Most actors say that heroes are easier to voice, but villains are more fun because of the meat.
I would say that villains are only more difficult if you get an idea in your head of how they're supposed to sound.
Ooh, juicy.
Yeah, because like stereotypically, I don't think, and I'm gonna get a little like sociological here. In society, I don't think we like to look at the evil that is everywhere, and how simple it is, and how on the surface it is, and how benign it is. Big words, apologize.
What the heck, man? You gotta dumb this down. If you could only have one pasta, what would it be?
You know, it's blasphemous, and like they would murder me in Italy, but I'm a big Alfredo fan.
Who would win in a fight? Iron Man or Carnage?
Probably Iron Man, because at the end of the day, Iron Man's got like unlimited gimmicks, and like, I mean, Iron Man cost him his life. Spoiler alert, but he beat Thanos.
Can we hear a line from Clay from Next Night?
One of my favorite lines was actually in the first episode, and it was to Macy, and it was after Murloc got like vaporized, before we knew he'd been digitized. And I said, Murloc, like, Macy, I wasn't strong enough. I failed as a knight. It was something along those lines.
How much of Ninjago have you actually watched? Like, did you watch a little bit to study for the part?
I did. I mean, I wasn't chewing through entire series, but yeah, I watched clips, and I watched past episodes. I watched. I mean, to be fair, I would not survive in a trivia contest with any of these amazing fans online.
Yeah.
With respect to even
I would not
even my nephews schooled me. I'm like, I just had to be like, I don't know much about that season. I apologize.
Dude, I don't know much about anything.
So no, I watched reference material to make sure I got the tone of the show.
Yeah.
But also, to be fair, the moment I read Kalmar, I'm like, I know this guy.
Did you watch your season?
Oh yeah.
Were you proud of it?
Yeah, I loved how it turned out. I thought it was great.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.